Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Miami Dolphins. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Over the middle, it's Thomas. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Green 80.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go, let's go.
Watch tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Now a play fake. Bortles. They'll roll him out right. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Green 80.
On first down, Drake. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll look to throw here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 80.
On second down, here's Bortles. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 80.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Set. Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Lucy. Set. Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thomas. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now.
Set.
Bortles looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in.
Here we go. Set.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
But we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
A first down carry now for Miller. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Leopard.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Gone. Hot.
Watch 32.
Detroit.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this front.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
77. 77. Lucy, Lucy. Let's go, let's go.
Bortles to throw on second down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Allen, the intended receiver. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And give him a gain of 37. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Damian Ratley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And fights through one man. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Green 80.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there. Making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
11. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey,
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Whoa, he still won't go down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Ratley. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints add on to their lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Lucy. Set. Green 80. Set.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On play action, now Bortles. Rolling, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Bosher now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable here from the 38. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And likely just out of field goal range. Could be Hail Mary time.
And haven't we seen in recent years that the Hail Mary seems to be more successful in the NFL than before?
Absolutely we have. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and a 360. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Back to throw. Caught. It's Huff. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hurry up, here we go.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Watch it now, Barney.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Watch that end, tight end's right. We got
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, 5-0.
On play action, it's Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives them a new set of downs.
Here we go. go.
On first down, Murray shedding the tackle and shedding his way forward. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a loss of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Lucy. Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, Green 80. Green 80. Hey, 54, Ricky. Green touch.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. Out to his left. He's got him in. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Green 80. 11.
Bortles going to throw. Buying time and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Snap comes at 1, and it's Bortles. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll look to throw here. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
To throw, it's Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up. Give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
On second down, it's Drake, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position?
Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10.
Green 80.
Now a handoff for Drake. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Back to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Damian Ratley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, now he bowls it over. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Bortles. He goes underneath to Drake. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The Dolphins on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Set. Green 80. Green is set.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now it's the backup Darnold. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles rolling to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now.
Faking the give, Darnold. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Green 80.
Now Bortles got to have this one. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Scott. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And his throw here's incomplete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Hey. We got three. 3 down.
Now back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Huff His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And down right near the 25, able to break through that initial contact, got him some extra yardage. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
One set, eyes up, one set.
Green 80.
On second down, here's Bortles. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Dolphins on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Tight end right. Detroit!
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Miami. This is taken at the 15. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this.
And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch tight end. Hey, we got 3 down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Watch the motion.
Green adjust.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On the give, this is Drake. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On second down, Darnold. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The Dolphins on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15.
Hey, what? Green 80. Green 80.
Now a play fake. Bortles. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Zuerlein now for the PAT. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, eluding the tackle. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.